Well, hello. Rather impromptu little live over here. Don't normally do this, certainly not on a Saturday morning, but something came super excited. I was expecting it Monday, but I checked on my tracking for it, and yeah, DPD it said was 1 hour out, and I'm like, this is super exciting. But Rach said to me, "Oh, do you want to just unbox it? Do you want to just, you're going to have a play with it?" And I went, "No, I need to do a video on it." So yeah, I figured, why not? If I realise many of you in the States will be fast asleep right now, although some of you are probably still up because you're all late birds. But I reckon we get into this and have a go. What do you think? So this is the Sony ZV-E10. If you didn't catch Mark and I doing a live on this a couple of weeks back now, do go and check out that video. It'd be really good to have a look at. You can see Mark introduced this. Mark from Sony introduced this, really giving us, I think he, along with everyone else, just had a quick hands-on of this camera, and it's been passed around to some influencers to have a look at and for some stores. But I haven't seen anybody actually having one delivered and kind of unboxing it and starting from scratch with it. So I want to do that. I've got my Sony a6400, which is what's in front of me and working now. I do have the kit lens on it. So this is the 16-50, deliberately because I've got another 16-50 sitting here that I want to put on this camera and literally put them side by side and not be going, well, let's see. Hey, Craig, good to see you. I want this to be a genuine side by side. And actually, I've got a ZV-1, which at the minute is sitting up there giving me another angle. But if you're up for it and you want to have a look, we could bring that camera down and we can literally put three side by side. And with the power of Ecamm, we'll split the screen up and let's just have a look at how close these cameras are, what kind of initial thoughts. Can we spot any differences and things? Night owling pays off. Come on. Morning, Tommy. It's easy. Tommy's in the UK, so he's all right. Anyway, it's given you a chance for a few of you to come and join me. I literally just put a post out a couple of minutes ago saying, quick, come over and join me if you're up. So cool. So how are we best to do this? Let's have a look. I think, to be honest, we'll just get into... let's... open her up. I nearly hugged the DPD driver when it showed up. He was like, "What's this?" I said, "I've been tracking you for the last hour on the app." Thank you, Park Cameras. This is where this came from. There we go. I bought it, obviously. That make it sound like they sent it to me. But yeah, Park were on we were streaming out to Park in Polska at the moment. Is that right? Yeah, Park Cameras were giving us some links and things to share out, and I think they were one of the quickest at getting this out there. So here we go. So do you want me to hold it that way around so it's facing you? So I think this is pretty much, it feels very much like the same packaging as came through with the ZV-1. The only downside, I've got these cameras working at the minute and I want to be able to actually physically put them side by side. That's just reminded me that I never filled this out last time. I don't know what you guys are like. I'm pretty useless at filling out these warranty cards. And then I'll be moaning if something goes wrong with it. But standard instructions, you kind of laugh. You get this, you think, oh, I've got a great big manual to work through here. How much of it actually is, yeah, there we go. That's it. So it's in so many languages. There are 12 pages there. Yeah, other than kind of, there's about 4 useful pages in that. Is we kind of put the battery in, connect it up, and away you go. So it'll be a case of looking online to have a look at things. But anyway, here it is in the box. What do we get? A power lead. 2 power leads then as a European. We've got, okay, so this is the way to charge it, I think. Oh, there's my interesting. So we've got the little dead cat, the little mic filter then to sit on the top, the same as we had in the ZV1. And battery, which I'm pleased to say is the same size as the 6400. It's identical. So I've already got one of these powered up, ready to go and all prepped. So I'll stick that one to the side. Nice little strap, although personally I thought it was a typo then. Personally, I'm not a big user of wearing the straps. So what have we got here then? So this is how we would power this then. Just very quickly. So that's how the power adapter comes then, and then you would charge that into the side of the camera. And look, USB-C. You can tell it's a nice new camera. So what have we got then back over here on the Sony? And this is the bit I've been so excited to see. Beautiful, look at that. There it is. So I went for body only because, as I say, I've already got a lens sitting here waiting. So yeah, it is just like the size of the 6400 that I've got in front of me here. Really liking it's got a grippy straight away. I like this grippy handle on the side here, which neither of the 6400 is that kind of mottled. Oh, I like this. So flip out screen like we've got on the, in fact I can flick this back over now, should we come this way? Flip out screen like we've got on the ZV1. I'm going to pop a battery into this. And let's pop this lens on. So a nice on-off on the top here. With the ZV1, it's a little button that you got to get your nail into and press down. So we're going to set this up. Let's have a... So we're going to go English. Set the date and the time. I might come back to that later. And here it is. There it is, pointing straight back at me. So I reckon, well, let's have a quick look around it. And then we'll come back over to what I could do actually. That might, will that zoom in a bit more? A little bit more. So microphone input goes up here. So the hot shoe, this is what I'm saying, we can just slide this little mic, a wind filter onto the top there if you want to have that on there. It's the same microphone system as is in the ZV1, so very nice. Can't get it off now. Yeah, do like the kind of mechanical click across on off button. This is a quick button to go between photo, video, S and Q. So the slow motion or the quick motion, the either doing the stop motion or the high speed. So the control on the front of here, I've got to come back through. I didn't finish my selection. Still not touch screen. Would have been lovely to have introduced touch screen. So I want to see what settings we've got on here then. So how do I get into my interesting? Okay. Trying to work how to get into this for the different formats and types. Right. Maybe let's try and do it sideways a bit like this. What I want to get into, and that's interesting actually, that's not as obvious as I would want this to be. So I can press at the top here and it tells me which mode I'm going between. So I've either got this intelligent mode. Oops. I've either got this intelligent mode. not quite sure. This one, that looks like the standard bit, but I don't know how I go. How do I come function? Right, I can see over, this is where I want to be, I think, but it feels like I'm making hard work out of it. I want to get into here. So this is, so I'm presumably here then in my shoot mode. That looks right. I'm back in manual now. So let me just adjust this. I'm going to put the same settings in this then, hopefully, as what I've got. Although that's very interesting that it's not letting me go lower than 100th shutter speed. I thought this was going to be a nice quick, I'm going to set this up, I'm going to put it side by side with my other one. It's not quite as straightforward I was hoping. Yeah, side flip only. Tommy, sorry, I don't know when that came in. So yes and no, actually. I think there were a lot of people moaning about this, and with the 6400 and that you've got a screen that flips up on top. Owen actually said to me, I prefer it to this one. Instead of this being here and potentially we've got cables in front of it. Well, we will have. When I plug in this HDMI cable in a minute, it's going to sit right there. So yeah, now all of a sudden, I'm now connected over HDMI, and be interesting to see how quickly and easily this comes through. Yep, there it is. There's our first look through. But as you can see, looking back from here, that screen, well, the screen's gone off anyway, interestingly. So maybe that the thinking is we don't need to have that open, and certainly the fact that I'm not needing to touch to focus on this, I wouldn't need to. But if I wanted that there, and I wanted to have a power supply feeding into it as well, so I need to get into this. Is it going to let me into the menu? So no, it's if I'm in HDMI like this, then let's bring this screen up. So this is me working through the menu then. So I can't see anything on the camera here at the minute. While we're connected, it's only going over to there, but I reckon let's have a little play through this menu anyway. Don't have to worry about focus. So continuous, we're going, I'm going to go wide on this like we have been before. Back into, I do like that the menu is positioned in a much nicer place. Actually, it's right up here. Excuse my black nails. I was painting a fence in the week. But that's one of the things I don't like with the 6400 is with that screen flipped up, it's a pain to get my finger into where the menu button is. So that's in a nice position, and I know if I reach over, I'd be able to find that quite easily. So what have we got? I need to work through this and have a quick setup. Let me come over to, so manual exposure. I'm going to put this down to there. Maybe that's why it wouldn't let my shutter speed come down, which would make sense. Quick fly through. I do want to put on here. We need to make sure it'll be on that playback, I guess. No, it's not. HDMI settings. We need to get all this stuff off the screen. HDMI info display off. Right, now we have a clean HDMI. So who wants to see this sitting alongside the 6400? So body-wise, it's about the same. We've got identical lenses on at the minute. I'm interested to see what the focusing is like. So let me just see which way around I've got that tripod head. I deliberately put it this way so we can hook this in. Right, those lenses are almost side by side. Now then, This is where I'm going to need to try it. Let's see if the things are in the same place, although I can't see. Yeah, there must be a setting on this that I'm just going to match them up this way around. Okay, so I'm going to change this camera to be on the same settings because I can't get into the menu. So weirdly, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying here. I'm going to put this back onto an auto ISO because I think that's what the other camera's on. So let's put that back to there for now. And I think this shutter speed needs changing because the other one's set on 100. Right, so let's try and match up. So at the minute, I'm working a bit blind on the ZV-10 because it doesn't seem to want to give me a display at the same time. Right, so we haven't set up. Yeah, I need to get into this, don't I? It's on an auto white balance. There's a couple of other little settings and filters that I've put into the other one. But looking, well, I was going to say pretty close. It isn't pretty close because we need to change this around a bit. But I'll be interested to see. It looks to me that the ZV-10 is on a much higher ISO. Can you see that looking really speckled over my shoulder over here? So I'll have a look and a play with that. I reckon actually, if you want, let's bring in this ZV1 as well. We'll bring it to the party. And I reckon that can sit at about the same distance. Right, you ready for another camera? Okay. This feels like paparazzi. I got a whole load of cameras all pointing at me. Again, they all just need setting up so that they're. And as soon as you go into an auto ISO, you're kind of in the hands of the camera then to see what it thinks. Hey, cool, got it this week. What's it like? Hey, Owen. Owen's in Scotland at the minute. What's the ZV-10 like? Set to 4K like the 6400. Yeah, good point actually. And Owen, my challenge is that I can't change the settings. My screen's gone black, very much like the Canon M50 did, and I'm sure there will be a setting for it. But when I'm in, yeah, let me just jump round because it would make life a lot easier if it would work. I can't actually change the settings in this, which is why I've then gone and messed all the others up. Let me come out and say, it's back. Okay, I can now see. Right. Pleased to hear it because that would have been quite a limitation of this. Now, let me then, if you want to stay on, what I'm going to do is go back and set this up more how I would. So I'm starting with my 6400 over here. And right, I'm on. Yeah, I'm not used to being at 4.5, which is what this lens gives me. So I think that there at a 400 ISO. Right, so still won't let me bring this shutter down lower than 100th. And yeah, the ISO is way up. What do we just set that one to? 400. So I'm going to set this one to 400. And let's go into the menu again. What am I missing? So this is the problem of doing these things live. I'm running through the menu. So if we're in 4K, this is set up. It's probably because I haven't put my location in. This is set up to 25 and 60, 60p rather than me being set to the UK. So that will teach me for not going into it and setting up the area first of all. So let's just put that area in. London, there we go. Thank you. Sorry, it's not very dynamic, is it? It's I thought we'd be able to get going a bit quicker and easier. It's still got to lock me in at 25 and 60. Right, we'll try that for now. I really am confused why my shutter speed won't come lower than 100th. Which means I'm going to have to push my ISO up, so it's not going to be a direct comparison, but you know what'll happen. As soon as I get off the live, I'll realize what I've done. Yeah, look, that's not looking good, is it? ISO, and I need that screen flicked round. Colors are way off. Yeah, I need to set, we've manually set white balances and things like this. What I am interested just to see and try here actually, and again, I haven't set it up yet. I'm just literally straight out of the box, as you've seen. You do realize how the setting a manual white balance and things like this, and there is a creative style that we've normally got on this. So they're not looking great there, are they? The Sony that I'm thinking is hopefully going to be our winner in this is actually looking like the worst quality out of the three of them here. All coming in over HDMI. All should be set to 4K. So what I'm interested just to see actually is, so let's start with the ZV-1 over there. And is very quick with its focus in and out. Yeah, it's unfair. I haven't got this set up. That is a very instant little jump there. What I was keen to see is what I've experienced with the 6400 is it kind of lurches and jumps as it's focusing. As it look at the cameras on the shelf behind me, it sort of bounces back as it's coming back into focus. Interested just to see it's still kind of doing the same type wobble. The ZV-1 doesn't seem to do it to me. It seems to be a super sharp in and out. So I need to have a look at that, don't I? Because there's clearly, I know it's the same sort of focusing technology and things in there. Yeah, sorry. In my head, I'm thinking I'm going to plug this in. I'll quickly walk through and put the settings in. But I have to say, so sitting looking at them, which unfortunately you can't see now unless I plugged in a phone. But these three side by side, that very slightly do come down in height. The 6400 is slightly, you can see them here. Let's knock these two out. So you can see there that between the two of them, this is the ZV-10, this is the 6400. It is a little bit smaller. I actually really like it. I really like, as I said, this kind of grippy front on it here. Feels a bit more modern than what's on this. So you can see the main difference is there. If I pull that back out again, that we've got a flip out screen on this one that, frustratingly, as I say, we've now got a HDMI cable right in front of it. So whatever people thought or didn't like having this here because of maybe putting a mic on it, I actually think I agree with you, Owen. Much better placement. So it's a shame that this is designed very much for vloggers who probably wouldn't, like me in this scenario, be hooked up to a HDMI feed and live streaming. It would be more designed for you to work. And actually it does, you can use this same handle on it. There you go, look, that's what it would look like. You can have this handle on it, which is what we've got on the ZV-1. Yeah, slightly smaller body, but the same style. We're going to take this out for the day today. I'm off to archery again with Jamie, and we're going to have a look, have a play with it. And I should be sitting in a field, kind of putting it through its paces, trying to set it all up right, so that actually when I come back to do this again, we can properly do a side-by-side comparison. Use a right angle connector. Yes. Yeah, we could actually. So it's not going to be one facing forwards. It's going to be one that goes down. That is a good idea. And unfortunately, I would also normally have a USB plugged in as well for power. So that's going to sit right above it. And I'm not going to be able to get a right angled one of those. So yeah, and again, headphones. I don't imagine in this scenario I would have headphones put in. So yeah, interesting thought really, but hi Brad. Yeah, it was. I had a bit of a kind of moment like that really when we were first talking, when I was on the interview with Mark, and I just sort of went, them cables are going to be right in front of the screen. And I've had years of that with the Panasonic G7. That's exactly what happens. Sorry, not the G7, the G80. It's exactly what happens. Cables come out of there. And when we got this Sony, I thought, oh, that's a nice problem fix that we now haven't got cables sitting in front of us. Yeah, never mind. I wouldn't normally use this kit lens either. I would normally use a prime lens on the front of here. Either a 16 or a 30mm Sigma lens tend to use, which I've got here. So we could put that on. I think let me go away, set this up so the two are identical and really see how these work. Because I'm constantly being asked, is this now the new camera? I've got several people who just recently cancelled their orders of other cameras because they've gone, let's wait and see what this new one is like. The focusing, Mark said, is incredible, the way it tracks, but there's settings that need to be put into it for that. USB for power instead of a dummy battery. Yes, that is what we've been doing. I'm kind of going to and from, actually. On the ZV-1, that's how we've been using it, is using the power. I don't know which camera I'm looking at now. That's the way I've been using the power. And I've kind of gone back. I think since turning this up to 4K from the live streaming, I did find on A Live that it was running out of power, and I had been running it over USB, but it couldn't keep up. It was slowly kind of draining it. So we have gone back to a dummy battery for the 6400. So again, I'm sort of sitting in between two ways of doing it at the minute, but I'm loving the fact that on my Sony, like now, this is how I'm running this one. So I've got I need to take that tape off. So I've got two cables coming out of here. I've got my HDMI coming out, and I've got a USB. Or I could just purely use USB, and then I don't need, it's not as good a quality as the HDMI, but actually one cable plugged into this camera that is doing the power, it's doing the audio, and it's doing the camera feed as well. I say audio because if you've got a microphone attached to the camera, as I've got here, then that will also come across this USB cable. So yeah, lots of really cool things. I think probably that's about enough as I can say on it here. But yeah, notice it keeps focus hunting your face. Well, this is the 6400, and actually it's doing it because I've got it set at the minute to this, where are we? I can change that over. It does what you have in the 6400 is a face priority, and I've got it turned off. So at the minute, I'd got it set so that if I'm holding things up, it will prioritize that over my face. I've just switched it back over in, they call it product mode or something in the ZV1. I'm sure it's the same in the ZV-E10. But yeah, I do find with this, if you can see it up in that top right corner where the plant pot is, it does seem to just slightly be pulsing with the focusing. And I can see on the screen that it is moving, that box that is just moving slightly, just for this little bit of movement over here. See how it's just, yeah, pulsing really, like you say, hunting. And I'm hoping that with the newer focusing that is in this ZV-10, I'm not going to see that, because I've been really impressed with the ZV-1 for all that it can do. It's just that I want to be able to put prime lenses on. And so I bought this really to sit in between these other two cameras, and I'm really pretty positive that this is going to be the camera we're recommending going forwards as the main one. That's why I wanted to know about the E10 image quality of USB versus HDMI. Yeah, well, we will do all of that, and I will be back on a live, and we will plug it in, although in fairness I probably could do it now. Let's just see. Bear with me. So, oh, of course, no, it's a USB-C, isn't it? I need to use the new cable. Where did that go? Plugged in there. Wow, this really is raw and uncut, isn't it? Right, let's plug that in there, and hopefully this will give me a feed through. Let's have a look. Oh, go away. It's trying to set me up with the software, and I don't want that. Can we remember menu was up there? USB. So to do USB streaming, I've got to unplug it and turn it off. So this camera's going off for a minute. Actually, no, it's not what it's saying, is it? It's saying I need to turn the... I should have just said no and wait, shouldn't I? But and where was that menu button? I said it was going to be nice and easy to find, and now I can't find it. There we are. Trying to remember where it is in the menus. So now I can't see the menu because my cables are all in the way. Right. It's not coming in, is it? No. wants me to... I'll take the USB out. So it might not let me go through both. So, such a big menu. Nope. Right, I'll... I think we should have just come back to it. Yeah, this is why I said I'm going to spend the day playing with this. Shoot mode. I think I've just been through the whole menu twice, actually. Come on. PC remote function. No. There was a USB streaming or something is what I'm looking for in the menu. That's what was in the... But I can't see it. USB, the operation can't be seen because smartphone connection is turned on. You really do need to know your way around this menu. So I have to turn off smartphone connection before it will let me... Right. Smartphone connection turned off. Now I should be able to change between USB. Right, let's have a look. It's just before, right, so what have I got? That's, so it isn't bringing through the, apparently you have to plug it the other end of the USB in. Right, so are we going to get another camera? Right, it thinks it's doing mass storage. Let's turn that off. I think that's the way we get into it. And enter with a bit of luck. No, I've lost both of them now. Right, hang on. No, we need to come out of that. I've done this before. Right, that's back on the 4K, but I'm not seeing another. I'm not seeing another camera here as a Sony. Right, I think what I should have said at the start is Rafael's got one. Amazing, good stuff. So yeah, here it is. It's turned up today, and I clearly need to go away and get familiar with it. But I will do, and I'll be back and expect lots of videos on here talking about it, comparisons. I really do think, I'm hopeful that this is going to be our new go-to camera. Sits a little bit cheaper than the 6100 or the 6000 series, but it is better really than the... I'm going to unplug these and hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. So this is it then sitting alongside the ZV1. I got a little case on the ZV1 just to give me some better USB placement and things like that. Of course, now I've turned off the product thing, it's not going to show it. So there it sits side by side with the ZV1. So really not a big difference in sizing. Yeah, brilliant, love it. Okay, right, I'm going to go and get on with my day. Firmware update. Potentially, but it's brand new out. I will have a look. It's a good point, actually. It's always is worth just checking that there's not an update, and maybe because it's new, there might be glitches that people have found. But that's the biggest one for me, is getting it off this 100th shutter speed. I want to get that down to 50, and at the moment I can't get it any lower than 100, which means my ISO is way up. And that's where we start getting that noise and stuff coming in. But right, I'm going to go and play. Thanks for being on with us. Sorry that was a bit of a, well, I don't know whether it's been interesting or not, but the start was good, hopefully, with an unboxing, and at least you can see what's coming through. Go grab yourself one. All right, I'll see you soon. Be sure, please, to subscribe, because then you'll get a notification whenever we do a live like this or put videos up. Yeah. We'll see you soon. All the best.